We're fully stopped. You ready? Oh my God. That is insane. I mean, that is so fast and so instant. This is the new Tesla Model 3, and it does 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.9 seconds. You're getting a family car with hypercar acceleration. They've changed everything about the Model 3. It's got a new exterior, a new interior, and a couple of new tweaks that I'm going to show you. Now, from a distance, it might not look like Tesla has changed much, but trust me, they've done a lot. Some of you guys might be familiar with the Model S Plaid. The car that does 0 to 100 in 1.9 seconds, which is absolute insanity. I drove it, couldn't believe it, almost broke my passenger's neck. Oh my God. So starting with the biggest visual change, the front is completely new. You'll notice that you have this line going end to end to make the entire stance more aggressive, kind of leaning forward. The headlights are also much thinner. So these headlights, if you were just to like cut out this piece right there, does look a bit more like a supercar, more aggressive, more modern, definitely. First of all, on the side, you got the wheels. These are sporty wheels, performance. So you got better tires, better brakes, better rims. Now, the rims are forged staggered rims. These are light and stiff, great for like driving fast around corners and all that stuff. And the kind of shape is for aerodynamics. If you want, you can remove the aero caps to save weight for the track, because this car has a track mode. We tested it out, and it's pretty crazy. Next to the wheel, you got cameras, but these cameras on the Tesla are interesting because, first of all, they help with visibility when you're driving around if you're like changing lanes or whatever. But you can also activate Sentry mode, and what Sentry mode is kind of like your CCTV security camera mode. So if anyone is trying to rob your car or do something suspicious, this will film them, get everything on camera. You can put them in jail. You see that right there? Sneaky little hidden CCTV camera. But on the back, they've redesigned the back as well. So how to know this is a performance? Right there. That's the badge for performance. Kind of looks like stars when you're traveling at light speed, right? They kind of drag. They've written Tesla out, which I think looks more elegant. And they've added this carbon fiber spoiler kind of going at 10. It's not that big, but it's enough to slightly adjust the lift balance, keeping the car stable at high speeds. And down here as well, what you'll see is you have new tail lights. Also, as with Tesla, you get a lot of natural light. So you have a huge panel going end to end. Back window is enormous. In case you're wondering, here it is. Got two little bags in there. It actually goes surprisingly deep. Like I can fit, I mean, not that you should be fitting people, but I mean, there it is. Also here, you can actually see the sound system. There's actually an upgraded sound system. They told us that this thing has bass. I haven't exactly confirmed the price, but this car, all the options that come along with this car, is supposed to be under $60,000. That's what they said. The door handle, press right here. In case you're not familiar with Teslas, press that. This comes out. And you pull like that. And what they've done is they've made the entire interior better. 8-inch touchscreen. This plays movies, Netflix, YouTube videos. Subscribe to Supercar Bondi, by the way. Games, I mean, this is great. I mean, when I was a kid, this is exactly what I would have wanted. Very responsive. It's very nice. It's very modern. You can actually point where the AC goes by just touching it. So if I want to go to my left knee, there you go. I now have the coldest left knee in the car. And so I'm just adjusting it, and the Acon is coming out of the panel itself, seemingly out of the screen, right into your face. Also, the entire inside, I mean, just feels great now. Perforated seats are new on this Tesla Model 3, but they're not just there for decoration. It actually has little air coming out if you want it, so your seats are cold or heated. This can sound like that. Of course, panel that we're talking about on the outside. I mean, look at this going end to end. I mean, this is enormous. It would be uninterrupted, but they added kind of these pieces down the middle for support and structure. Otherwise, if this wasn't here, this glass roof would probably be more of like a danger than a nice little feature. Tesla has a way of making things different than any other car. There's no door handles. Instead, you have this button right here, like that. That'll open the door for you. And speaking of things being done differently, you guys got to see the steering wheel. All right, so heading inside. There we go. Look at the steering wheel. Let me know what you guys notice. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, going on behind the steering wheel. No stacks, no turn signals, no windshield wiper. Everything is happening on the steering wheel or the screen. That's it. Now, on one side, I get it, and that's great. On the other side, I told people at Tesla, literally told them, like, this is my grandma's worst nightmare. Like, literally, if my grandma hopped in this car, she would never be able to leave. For a first-time person, it's pretty confusing. Once you get used to it, it's okay. You do have more visibility. Like, there's nothing in the way that kind of obstructs your view. The one thing that I would maybe like is a heads-up display. The turn signals are on the left side right here, like that. This is like a panel. It doesn't look like an individual button, but when you press it, the haptic feedback is actually very nice. You press it, you feel a nice little response. These are like little wheels that also turn. So right here, that's mainly for your volume and all that stuff. Also, no gear selectors. It's just become so normalized to have gear selectors down the middle that when you don't have them, you're like, what the hell's going on? Right. They have two ways of doing it. First of all, you have emergency gear selectors up here. You see P, R, and D. That's in case of emergency. But if you don't want to use that and you want to do it the way it's supposed to be done, you are supposed to do it like this. So you'll get this screen. Now I can swipe the car either upward or downward. Downward is reverse, and it automatically goes to my reverse cameras plus those little side view cameras that I showed you earlier. And if I want to go forward, I slide this up. You can just let the car decide where to go for you. So if you just have it like this, the car will know whether to go forward or backwards depending on how it's parked. Its cameras make an intelligent decision. It says, okay, there's stuff in front of me. This guy wants to reverse out of his driveway. Through here, so you have your car button. That's your main button right there. That'll activate everything going on here. So you have your controls. This will change your different kind of lights, whether you want your whatever. You can fold your mirrors like that. I can fold them. And then you have the automatic blind spot camera, which is great. So what this does is when you turn left and right, you automatically get a camera that shows you your blind spot, which is really nice. Right here, there's nothing to open the glove box. Instead, if you look right there, glove box button, and when you press it, take a look, that opens up. Your steering is also changed through here. So I can literally now, what's pretty cool is look, I can lower my steering wheel by doing like this, just rolling it on the wheel itself. And then by doing this, left and right, left, it comes forward, right, it goes backward. Dynamics, acceleration, you have chill, standard, insane. I've tried insane, and it is insane. Your stomach turns upside down. You also have a track mode right there. You see that track mode? It's going to give me a warning. It'll optimize everything to make this car as fast as humanly possible. Also, what's pretty interesting is you're going to see that you can apply the brakes. So basically with the pedals, when you let go of the accelerator, it'll start coming to a stop. I can change the color. If you look at that, now they're green right here. What they've basically done with this car is they've gotten what people liked in the past for Teslas. They made it better. And they've also listened to their customers. So I'm sure that enough people were seeing like, we want ambient lights for them to eventually put something this prominent in. And I think it was a good choice. The seat right there, that's a performance badge, nice little detail. And these are race seats. I mean, these are full-blown bucket seats. I mean, look at the hug factor that this got. I mean, look at this. This, when you're sitting in, this hugs you completely. I mean, that's going halfway through my ribs. When you go side to side, that'll hold you in. One thing that I want to say about this car is there's definitely a learning curve. Even the on-off button, there's no on or off button. There's no start-stop. It's a card like this or your phone, and you just put it here. And from there, you literally just press the brake and reverse. If you want to get out of the car, you put it in park, you grab your card, and you leave. This is amazing. Okay, I totally get this now. This is like super agile, super responsive, super fast. The braking is amazing. Like, I feel like a Model S, like I'm just flying right now around the mountain. Even a Model S would be heavier, so it would, have more weight going through the corners. This is super nimble. It's just like a pure driving experience. I can't believe that you could even have kids flying around the back, screaming at the top of their lungs, but this is awesome. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Like, just when you go forward, It's crazy how fast this is. And because right now I'm on the sport mode, the car is programmed so that you can't really lose control. I mean, you could in theory if you really wanted to, but for those of you that are kind of driving it on the edge, it's just enough to keep the car stable when you're driving fast. So I'm like ripping it through corners and it feels safe. It doesn't feel wobbly. It doesn't feel like it's kind of slipping. Also, it's cool because like, you know, you get all this power, but you have all this visibility and you're not too low to the ground. You know, like sometimes when you're driving a supercar or a hypercar, you're almost like leaning back and you have less visibility. This feels like almost like a go-kart where you're right on the road, you're at a nice height, you have full visibility of everything and you can just send it. Got the police. I'm actually surprised that the police don't want this as their car. Like that would make so much sense. Like, it's more or less affordable. I'm sure they can get a deal with Tesla, but the instant acceleration, I mean, if anyone's messing around, you just catch them. Basically, when I accelerate, you see this meter goes up to the right. When I let go of the pedal, it turns green. That means that I'm actually charging from the acceleration of the car. That's just basically called recuperation, which a lot of electric cars have, obviously. But it's nice to see like a little visual for it. Looks cool. So you see that we're driving, right? Now I put on my left turn signal and this comes on. Now this shows me that nobody is in the way. It's a very nice little detail, like the blind spot camera. And obviously this car has a bunch of extra safety features. It's programmed like that. So the car will alert you if it thinks that you're about to crash. It'll even stop for you. It'll avoid collision. And I'm just gonna accelerate for you guys to understand, right? So right now, we're stopped, we're fully stopped. You ready? Oh my God. That is insane. I mean, that is so fast and so instant. I have to say, it's going to be a bold statement. This might be the most fun car that I've driven in like a year.